Hello, everybody. My name is Kristen Peterson, and I am going to show you, with some screen sharing, how to host a successful salad in a jar party. I have personally hosted more of these than I can even recall. And through the process of hosting these, and when we first started up to, a few years later, hosting many of these every year, we've learned a few things from trial and error, and I am going to share all of the things that I've learned to make sure that these are successful, because through our mistakes, we've learned how to make these like really successful. We pretty much have them down to a science, and I can successfully run one by myself without stressing too much over it or putting a whole lot into it, really. So I am going to show you how I use Facebook to set up an event page where I invite people into that event page, and I post a Sign Up Genius link. I'll share that with you and show you how I enter that link in there and get people to their RSVP is where they're choosing their toppings. So their ticket in is basically when they choose their toppings that they're going to bring to the party. I'm going to share with you how I message people 24 hours prior to the event. We've learned how to get people to understand that, like, you can't bail, you have to show up, and you have to show up on time. So I'll share that verbiage and that language with you. And then I'll talk about what we do at the actual event, how we set things up once people get in the door, and how we share a little bit about what we do as part of our healthy living mission, our healthy living revolution. So let's get to it. I'm going to screen share with you how I set up my Facebook event. So this was a post I posted earlier today. You're going to go right up to the top of Facebook to your home tab. I'm doing this on the desktop, obviously. And I'm going to go to the left side here where I go down to events. I'm clicking on an event. I'm basically creating a new event. And I do these as private events. You can do them as public, but since I'm doing them in my home, I prefer to know and have the control over who I'm inviting. I'm going to go and upload a photo, which I've put a photo on my desktop. I'll show you where I found this in just a second. I'm going to upload this photo and drag it to reposition. I'm just going to scroll it down a little bit so people can see that it says Salad in a Jar Party. And then a friend of mine offered to host one of these for me at the end of the month, and she's doing this at her house. So I'm going to create the event for her party. So I'm calling this Chetty's Salad in a Jar Party. I don't like to put the address until we have the confirmed RSVPs. Okay. And then the date and the time. We are doing this one on Sunday. And I'm going to start it at 2 p.m. and I'm going to put an end time of 3 p.m. I want people to know that there is a sense of urgency here. So I'm going to stop share just for a second. I want to show you first, back up for a second, where did I find that image that I used? I mean, certainly you can find something on the internet, but I will share, hold on one second, let me just go back. I'm going to go back into screen share my page, because I will go back and share with you where I found that. So you go into the website for the Healthy Living Revolution, which I'm hoping you guys can see that. It says healthylivingrevolution.com. This is an excellent resource for so many Juice Plus tools. And I am going to, hold on a second, I'm in the wrong page. I'm going to go to the one that says The Freedom Revolution. So please apologize. I'm apologizing for that. thefreedomrevolution.com. And if I'm looking at the homepage for that, bear with me. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's a little gear at the bottom, and it is a password protected site. Mine already has the password remembered, but the password is Revolution, all lowercase. And once you enter the password, it brings you into this, which is an amazing tool for reps or for you to share with people that want to know more about our business. And if you scroll partway down here, you see where it says effective inviting. So this section right here will help you, you know, invite people to an in-home event. You can play the audio to listen to that. And right underneath this is invitation image resources. And I found that image right in here. The company has done an amazing job getting so many of these images just laid out for us that we can use. So I used this one, but look at, I'm just going to scroll through here real quick. So you've got images for salad in a jar that you can use, different images that I can make a graphic so that I have it to text directly to people. And I can use this and like use Canva or Post My Party and just add, I'm sorry, not Post My Party, but Canva or other, you know, websites that allow you to, you know, like PicMonkey, where you can add your own words to these things. Soup in a jar party, and so on and so on. I mean, I encourage you to come in here and scroll through smoothie parties. So you can take anything that I'm showing you here and relating to salad in a jar and turn it into, you know, overnight oats in a jar, or smoothie parties, or healthy living potlucks. So fun. Burrito in a jar party. Same thing. Basically, you're just going to create the event and you're going to create a list of items for people to bring. So I just clicked on this one and I did, I right-clicked on it and I just saved the image to my desktop. So now that brings us back into our Facebook page. And now we have to enter a description. So I need to show you the document that I've created that is going to share that description with you, because I created some things that I could just do a quick drop and paste here. With me, I'm doing all this by myself. Here. Okay, so I want to go to, hold on one second. Open that up and okay, so now I'm going to share that with you. Okay, whoops. I think we're there. Okay, so I created this document that I keep and use for myself so that every time I host another one of these, I can just copy paste this. Or I can go back into a previous Facebook event, find that old event, and copy paste it out of there. But it's nice to have this in document form. So for the description, this is my verbiage. This is what I'm going to add. So I'm going to copy this here. Okay. Stop that share just for a second, and then I'm going to go back into, and now I'm sharing back in here. So now we're back in the salad in a jar thing. So I'm going to I copied that, and now I'm going to paste, and you see the description is written right in there. And I always just check over it real quick because sometimes I make small changes to it, but I'm going to assume that this one is correct just for the sake of moving on. So I copy pasted my description in there. And here is my event. I'm going to go back in here and I want to hit edit because I do have the lady that wants to host this with me. I need to add her as a co-host, which is very important, I think, so that the guests can see that, you know, this is something that being hosted by their friend, not just me. So I've got the date, I've got the time, I've got where the event's going to happen without providing the address, and then the description, which tells people that they have to RSVP by selecting 2 toppings to share. That I'm creating a sense of urgency in capital letters by saying the event's going to fill up, which they do. I mean, once you host your first few and you take pictures and you post them on social media, on your personal page, people are going to start asking you, what is that? I want to come to the next one. So you're going to be keeping a list of people that, like, write down your list of people that you want to invite that are saying, please invite me to the next one, because they will fill up. I tell people to bring 4 large quart-sized mason jars. Pickle jars, leftover pickle jars work really good for this as well. Or they can bring some of the smaller pint-sized jars. I think the smaller jars are difficult because you have so many toppings that it gets too hard to fit everything into the jar. So I do encourage the large jars, and I tell people to bring their own. You can either, some stores you can buy these individually, and sometimes you just have a couple friends go in and buy a case. You can also opt to provide the jars if you wish, and I charge people, sometimes I will let people know I have jars and I will let you buy one for $1 per jar. But that's a pain and it's an extra step. But to start out, I did that at the beginning and it did help people. But now that I have a lot of people that keep coming back, people just keep bringing the same jars back over and over. So you can either provide them or people can bring their own. And we really want to make sure that people show up at the event with all of their toppings prepared, like chopped, sliced, diced, and ready to go. And you'll see more of that when I create the Sign Up Genius in the description of the items that people are choosing. We learned early on that some people were confused thinking that this was a salad preparation party. So I would have people walking in the door with like an entire head of cabbage, unshredded, a bag of carrots, not cut. You want people to understand that this is kind of like a pop-up salad bar, so that they're going to come with everything ready and it's a salad building party. So we can stress that a little bit more when we do the 24-hour notification prior to the event. I want to make sure I let people know how many salads we're building. So if I am expecting a dozen people building 4 salads each, that's 48 salads. I let people know the number, we're building close to 50 salads. You want to impress upon them the amount of toppings that they're going to need to bring. And I'll also share more about that with you when I show you my Sign Up Genius. And then you want people to understand that they're just like they're going to a salad buffet. They're going to take about a spoonful of the topping. So they'll be able to start getting a visual, but the Sign Up Genius will help, and you can certainly offer more guidance. And especially after you've done a few of these, you're going to notice what are you running out of, and so you can change and alter your amounts. And then this tip here is really important. In capital letters, I've let people know that they have to arrive on time, that we can't start building the salads until everybody's there. So it's not like you can start building as people arrive. It's people come in the door, you're assembling basically the salad buffet line, and nobody can start building until everybody's there, because all of the items have to be there in their appropriate order and in their spot before anybody can dive in and start building, or people are missing ingredients out of their jars. So if my party's starting at 2, I want people to know that we are going to begin building by 2:15, and that we're going to be done no later than 3 o'clock. I want to promote the fact that these are fast and fun and easy. People can come in and out, and they're going to have that sense of relief knowing that they're not coming to this event because we're going to take up their whole day and give them some big sales pitch and make them sit through some presentation. I provide greens and dressings with my events. I usually go to Costco and provide those, and when I do, I buy for 12 people building 50 salads. I get one of those huge bags of spinach. I get at least 2 of those really large boxes of spring mix. And I know Costco has the big bag of the organic romaine lettuce heads. I think there's 5 or 6 heads in that big bag, and I just cut those up ahead of time. And I'll tell you how to set that all up, but that's about the amount that I provide at my party. You could put the greens in your Sign Up Genius list, but then you run the risk that that might be the one person that doesn't show up. And divvying out the amount of greens can be a little more difficult. I feel like I'll spend the $10 or $15 to provide the greens for people if they're willing to bring the dressings. It's the bulkier item. It just makes it easier for everybody. So now we need to start inviting. And when I invite, at least at this point where I've done so many of these, I may want to invite some of my Happy Juice Plus customers or people that are doing a shred, because this kind of ties hand in hand with that healthy lifestyle that we promote during a shred. And I also just people that maybe I've talked to about it in the past. So of course, this is where you go to you click the invite button. You can start inviting people. You can type in their names or whatever. So once you've invited people into this event, and this, like I said, my friend offered to host this. So now that I've made her a co-host, she's going to be able to start inviting, and I'm going to share with her some verbiage on how to do that. But I'm going to also, I will share this with you guys. So let me share with you. We switch over gears here. We're going to create the Sign Up Genius link first, and then get on that. And then I'm going to share with you how to invite, because I want to make sure that everything's set up in the event page before I start inviting people in. So here is, I have a Sign Up Genius account. You can create a sign up for free. I do not pay for Sign Up Genius. I have never paid anything for this, and I've used this so many times that I have templates that I just duplicate. I'll go back to my latest template and duplicate it over and over. But basically, you can, if you follow the prompts, oops, and it locked me out. Let me log in. If you follow the prompts at the top, it will basically walk you through. So I'm not going to, oops. I think I entered my password incorrectly. I'm not going to walk you through how to do this whole thing step by step, but basically it's, I mean, if you follow, you can go create, now you go up here where it says create a sign up, and it will walk you through step by step. So I'm going to go to this one that I've duplicated just so that I can show you what it looks like, and we're going to edit this one. So we're just going to call it Salad in a Jar Party, and this one's happening on the 27th. I took that same description that I put in Facebook and I copy pasted in here for the sign up, or for the description. And again, you can tweak it. Mine had wording on here for Shred 10, because sometimes we do these the day before we start a shred. So I can add that verbiage in there, tweak it a little bit, and tweak it a little bit for, you know, like I think I have in here, my verbiage says we're going to be building around 50 salads. That's for a dozen people. If you're only expecting, you know, 5 or 6, or you're going to limit it to that for your first few to try it, then you can change the number there. And again, the details on arriving on time. I'm going to update that, and then you can walk through the theme. You pick your dates and times, and here's the slots. I'm just going to show you what mine looks like on preview mode so we can fast forward a little bit. Sign Up Genius is so easy. I don't really feel like I need to give you a tutorial on that. But here's what it looks like. So when guests click on the link, then I'm going to embed this in there. They'll see this. And then I can also give you a list of, or if you want to screenshot this somehow, you can see for a dozen people, we've learned that these are about the amounts that we need. You can certainly go back and edit any of this, add more stuff. If you're going to have half the amount of people, just, you know, reduce the size of this. And like I said, you can add more items. I mean, just, I guess, visualize in your head, what do you see when you go down the line when you're going to like sweet tomatoes or a salad buffet? Or, you know, just Google most popular salad ingredients or salad toppings. And, you know, you'll learn what works and what doesn't. We try to leave things like any animal protein, like chicken, off the list, because it's expensive and nobody wants to sign up for that. Or cheese, because it's just not shred compatible, and so we leave cheese, and we leave things like pasta or things with gluten off of the list so that our salads are in line with the shred program that we do. And if you needed to go back and make any edits and you needed to add slots, you can do that right in here. So now when I'm ready, I want to go back to the last step for invite publish, and this is where I can get the link, take my sign up live, but don't send emails, and now it's going to give me this link that I can use. My link is copied, and I'm going to go in Facebook, and I am going to go back into this thing here where it says edit, and I'm going to put my link right in here. That is the link for people in there. And then I also go ahead and post it right in here. And I will make something that says, something that creates a little sense of urgency. Okay. And then I'm going to post copy. I did a, pasted that in there again so that when guests come into this page, they're going to see the details right there with the link on how to sign up. And so now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I invite people when I'm inviting people to come to this. So I created a quick document here. I can do some sharing with you. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm just swatching back and forth between all of these little documents that I created. Okay, so I have some sample verbiage for inviting, and this I will put along with when I send the rest of this information to you. I'm going to make sure that I put the rest of these documents in there as well, so you can do some copy pasting. So I have verbiage in here on how to invite somebody that's new to this, because if this is your first party, you can do a quick little description and tell people what you're doing and ask them if they could be there. And when you send people this link, I did it so that you can kind of just do a copy paste, and then you can also attach a link to the Facebook event page, not just the Salad in a Jar, or not just the Sign Up Genius, but send them a link to the Facebook event page because it has more details on there. You can also, because in that Facebook event page, you can see other people's comments and just kind of create more of that sense of urgency with people. So I like to make it easy for people whether I'm inviting somebody that's new, a returning guest, or somebody that has asked me, hey, I want to come to your next one. I always make sure I attach a link to that Facebook event page because it makes it easier for them. If I can provide people that path of least resistance, I'm so much more inclined to get people to actually do it. And I've hosted so many of these that I have gotten really good at, creating that sense of urgency, and people are like, hurry up and sign up because they know my events are going to fill up with this. So don't be discouraged if your first few are a little bit more work, getting people to understand it. That's why the Facebook event page is really nice, because it has all the details in it, and it really does a good job explaining the event. So I want to talk to you about what do I do, 24 hours prior to the event. This is really important. There's a message that needs to be shared with people that, so I go into the Facebook private messenger. Actually, let me show you something else real quick. I'll show you where I post this. But here's my event. So I want to welcome people whether I know them or not. So excited for our Salad in a Jar party tomorrow. Here's what you need to know. I give them my address. I give them my phone number, because if people are on their way or they're running late, I want them to be able to call me on my phone so I hear it ringing if I'm getting ready for the event. Again, with the details, we begin at 2. We can't begin building until everybody arrives, so please arrive on time. And we're going to finish no later than 3. I remind them to bring their 2 toppings that you chose from the Sign Up Genius. I remind them again that needs to be prepared, meaning cut, chopped, shredded, sliced, diced, etc. Bring it in a serving bowl with their own utensil for scooping, because nobody has enough utensils and bowls in their own kitchen for all of the toppings that are about to arrive in your house. So again, think of it as a pop-up salad bar. And out of respect to all guests, this is important. If you are unable to attend, please make arrangements to have a friend bring your item to the event on your behalf, or drop off your item in advance. So this ensures that people aren't bailing, they're not no-showing, and if they are 24 hours prior, they're probably going to be letting you know that right away, like, oh my gosh, something came up and I can't make it. That gives you a chance as the host to see what they signed up for, either offer that slot to somebody else and say, hey, a spot freed up, I do have room, and the person that was supposed to bring black olives and chopped celery isn't able to make it. Can you come and bring those items? Or you as the host can decide if you want to provide those items and throw that in as well. Again, reminding people to bring their own mason jars, what size, how many, and if they have a guest, because sometimes friends will invite friends and I don't necessarily have a way to contact them. So I ask them, if you have a guest that you're bringing, make sure they get this message as well. So again, see you at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So that is a really important message, and it helps. I make sure I do it at least 24 hours, usually the morning before the event, to give people a chance to get their head around it, understand, reminder, don't forget, and all of that. So I want to show you, if I can go back into Facebook for just a second, we'll do another screen share here. So let's look at my Facebook page. And in Facebook, after you've invited your guests, there is a way, okay, let's see. So I'm just gonna, let me invite somebody, and I'm going to invite, let me see, I'm gonna invite my friend Ryan, okay? Now maybe I can't show you this, but once I have invited her, and see this, there's a way to message people in here, and I don't think it's letting me show you because she hasn't accepted the invite or the request yet. Here it is. Sorry. You go to this little, the 3 dots, message guests. So once I do this, I can go to the goings, the maybes, or the inviteds. So I can click on all the people that said going. And you want to compare this to your Sign Up Genius, because this isn't always the same. Sometimes people will say that they're going in the Facebook event, but they don't sign up for a topping. So make sure you've selected from the going list the actual people that have also, RSVP'd through Sign Up, or through, Sign Up Genius. And then you want to click their names. Don't send it as a group message. Do not click this. People do not like group messages. They'll ignore them. So then you can copy paste that message, the 24-hour reminder message, paste it right into there and hit send. And it will send it to all, 12 or so, however many guests you've invited to that event, all in one swoop, all done, super easy. So that makes that part easy. I think I've covered everything. Okay, so we covered the event, how to invite people. We've covered the Sign Up Genius link, the messaging 24 hours prior. And now I want to talk to you guys about the event itself. So prior to people arriving, I usually make homemade salad dressings. You don't have to. You can provide some healthy salad dressings. My suggestion is I prefer homemade salad dressings because we can make the point that they're clean and they don't have a lot of garbage in them. But if you are going to provide salad dressings, just look at the list of ingredients and make sure that it's stuff that you can identify and it doesn't have things like hydrogenated fats or high fructose corn syrup or, an overload of sodium. We want to just keep the salad dressing as clean as possible. That's why I try to make it, because it's hard to find a store-bought one that kind of fits that criteria. I have been collecting Juice Plus stuff for 5 years. So I save empty Juice Plus bottles. I have gummies. I have brochures. I have empty boxes that my Juice Plus has come in. So over the years, I have stuff. So before an event, I can kind of create a little demo spot, a little station. Like I usually do it on top of my stove. I have a really big cutting board. I cover up the top of my stove. I just put the bottles out. I'll cut up a bar so people can taste the bars. I put out the capsules so people can see them. I want them to open the jar and smell the fact that they smell like food. I even, right before people come in, I will make a smoothie and I'll put the smoothie in just small little Dixie cups so that people can taste it. I want people to try the shakes. And I have gummies, so I'll put those on a little plate. People can pop a couple gummies. Oh my gosh, I love them. Then they'll take them home and let their kids try them. And I do have brochures out, but you don't have to have brochures. You can, open up your laptop, show them your Juice Plus website with information. So I do put out a little display. And as people arrive, so here's the thing, we told people to get to the house at 2 because we're going to start building at 2:15. So as people are arriving, it's going to be like mass chaos. It's 15 minutes of everybody showing up at once. So before people are there, I have my display. I've had my smoothie made, I have my dressings made, and I will put my greens in a separate spot. So I have a big island in my kitchen. I put all the toppings on the island, and then on the counter behind that, I put my greens so that people can kind of move out of the way. So you're going to put your stuff in the jar at the island and then move over to the counter to stuff your greens in the jar, because that takes a little extra time for people and I kind of want them in a separate spot. So you could use your kitchen table for that. Just maybe put it in a different spot so people aren't stuck at the end of the line clogging up the line. Remember, you might have a dozen people building 4 salads, so it can get clogged at the end. So I just put all the greens over in one station. I put some tongs in there, or big salad forks or whatever. So as people are arriving on my island, the place that I've designated to put all of the items, so for a party with 12 people, I'm going to have 24 toppings. What you want in the jar is the items that are hard to be at the bottom. So if somebody has signed up for broccoli or cauliflower or onions, you want those things to be at the bottom, because ideally some people prefer to put the salad dressing at the bottom of the jar, because you're building a salad upside down. So you want the dressing at the bottom, the hard toppings that can come in contact and stay wet for a day or 4 and not get soggy. And then you go with the softer items on top of that, and then the greens. So the idea is you take that big mason jar with the hard ingredients and the dressing at the bottom and the greens at the top when you're ready to eat, and you dump it out. So it's a built salad with the greens at the bottom, the toppings at the top, and the dressing pours over the top. Most people do not put the dressing at the bottom of the jar. Most people prefer to put the dressing in a separate container. And I have found that these little dressing cups work really, really well. And I buy these on Amazon. These are the things that you get, like if you go to a restaurant, you get like the little to-go salsa. There's a little, this size cup here. So I put these out. I purchased them on Amazon. You can buy them at Target or Walmart where they have the picnic stuff, the disposable plates. But I purchased these. I got 100 of them for $8 on Amazon. And this will get me through at least 2 salad in a jar parties. But people like to have these separate so that they can separate the dressing from the salad if their salads are going to sit in the refrigerator for a few days, instead of the dressing getting funky and wet and creating moisture inside the jar. So that's a good tip there. So basically put your hard items in line first, because you want everybody to start in one end with the hard items at the bottom. So then after you get those first few items, like your broccoli, your onions, your cauliflower in line first, then it really doesn't necessarily matter what else is lined up on the counter or your table. Just make sure that the greens are the last thing to go in, and then they can separate their dressings. So during the event, what I do is once everybody's ready, I just call everybody to attention. Everybody's here. We're ready to start. And I let people know that I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself and give them an explanation on how we're going to do this today. And our goal is to respect your time and get you out of here before 3 o'clock like we promised. So then I just introduce myself. I say who I am without vomiting that I am a rep with Juice Plus. I tell them that I am a health coach, and that I work with a company whose mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And one of the ways that we do that is by doing these community events. So we host these salad in a jar parties as a way to build community, to bring people together, to help inspire them to live a healthy lifestyle. And another way that we do that is with this product called Juice Plus. And then I just talk very briefly about what it is. It's not an opportunity to vomit on people, and I'm certainly not walking around with an order form begging people to purchase anything. I'm just giving them a quick description. I will show them the bottle. Maybe have one in my hand when I'm talking, and I just say, basically, everything that you see here at this salad buffet is in this bottle. So, you have, by eating the trio of Juice Plus capsules, you are getting the powdered fruit and vegetable nutrients from a variety of over 30 plants every single day. And being able to do that consistently helps to heal and repair your body. And sometimes I segue into how that ties into the shred, and that the shred is also part of this program that we use. We use the capsules in combination with the shakes and a clean eating program once a month for 10 days every month as a way to instill and create healthy habits. So then I just say, we're here to build salads because everything that we do with our Juice Plus business is all about helping people get more healthy fruits and vegetables into their bodies, because plants heal. So we're here to build salads. And then I just explain how we're building. So it takes the pressure off. People don't feel like it's a huge sales pitch. I've gotten the opportunity to mention what I do with my business People want to know more, but people don't feel pressured, like they don't want to come back because it was awkward and I had to buy something. Most people leave without purchasing anything. But what I found is that they want to come back over and over again. And eventually, ultimately, those people do become loyal customers. The more we can educate people, the more we can include them into these events without making them feel like they have to buy something. It makes them have that level of trust with you that makes them want to be part of what you're doing and get those products that you're talking about into their body. Most people do not purchase Juice Plus, at the first exposure. It takes a few. So hopefully that was helpful, you guys. I hope that you will host a salad in a jar party. Let me know how it goes. And I'm going to, when I send you this video, in the document that I send you, I'm also going to include the other verbiage that I had in there and a link to the Freedom Revolution so that you can find those graphics and images in there as well. Thanks for listening, and good luck hosting a salad in a jar party.